say your name?
Okay, now we're ready.
My name is Christy, and I'm here with my daughter, Olivia. You want to say hi, Olivia?
Hi, Olivia.
And we have been here at the Ronald McDonald House for a couple of months now, so we're kind of settled in and actually looking toward maybe getting close to going home, but just wanted to talk a little bit about the fun we've had here. We were, like everybody, quarantined at home with schools out in March and April, and around the end of April, Olivia had a painful spot on her hand, which we had a hard time with the precautions and things, really getting that figured out. So we were actually supposed to see an infectious disease specialist at Children's Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, and we ended up going to Huntsville. Do you remember why we went to Huntsville?
Because I had that sore hand.
What'd we go for?
MRI.
An MRI. So we needed that before we could see the infectious disease doctor. And the awesome radiologist at Huntsville recognized that the changes that he saw on the MRI were most likely related to her leukemia. So that was where we got our diagnosis, was in Huntsville, Alabama. We're from Muscle Shoals, so
Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
we were very fortunate that the diagnosis was made at Huntsville, which has a St. Jude affiliate. Otherwise, we might not have ended up in Memphis, but they admitted us and confirmed her diagnosis.
And my Memphis diagnosis is ALL.
That's right. They diagnosed her with ALL, which is acute lymphoblastic leukemia. And how did we get from Huntsville to Memphis? Do you remember?
We drove my papa's truck.
No, you rode in an ambulance. Don't you remember?
Remember that?
She's definitely talked a lot about her kid care ambulance, which was another just great experience. I mean, just so every step of the process being involved with St. Jude. So we showed up at St. Jude and ended up hospitalized for a few days while we got our corona testing and got her diagnosis confirmed, and started in her with her leukemia clinic with her doctor, Dr. Inaba. So once we did that, we had a 14-day quarantine on campus at the on-campus housing, and we were eager to try to get settled because they had told us we would be here for 6 weeks. So,
but this time they told us we could stay. But this time, we stay here for long.
I know, a long time. So after we finished our quarantine and we were released to move into housing, we were very lucky, we feel, to get placed here at Ronald McDonald House. We had definitely heard about it and didn't really realize that this house is strictly for St. Jude patients, so it's not associated with the Children's Hospital or anything like that. Everybody here is affiliated with St. Jude. So it's finally, after all the quarantine and isolation, to be around people that had the same experiences and were going through the same things. It was just really important to help us settle in here away from home. And what have you liked about being at St. Jude? Did you like riding the shuttle?
I like going down the elevator to school.
What's so cool about the elevator?
You like riding the elevators here? What do we do when we ride the elevator upstairs? We go to the craft room.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of things to entertain us, to get us out of our room a little bit, even though social distancing is still important. There's the kitchen where we've met some other great parents, and even just the experience of kids from other countries and things, just things that Olivia wouldn't have been exposed to at home. And especially with the current environment with Corona, not being able to just be free and be around a lot of people. It's nice here because everybody's safe. It provides a safe environment where we know they're all, kind of in the same situation we are. And we've got our own personal room where we can have our own privacy and all of our stuff and all the many things that Olivia gets in the mail. They handle that and get it to us. So
We get lots of things, packages and stuff in the mail.
Do you like that part, Olivia? You like getting a lot of mail?
It's always fun getting stuff in the mail. Mom, when you learned that y'all were gonna have to be here for an extended amount of
Uh-huh.
time, what was, before even being placed here at Ronald McDonald House, what was your main concern during this time?
Well, I mean, definitely, how do you put your life on hold and continue to provide for your family? I mean, we're really fortunate that Olivia is an only child, but, mostly just how do we, what does that look like? Are we going to have to split time between home and the hospital, driving back and forth? What kind of resources do we have close? So, really, it was just amazing that, St. Jude already had everything in place to get us set up with housing, and so we, definitely took advantage of the opportunity to be able to stay here and be in Memphis where we could, be easily accessible to everything we need.
Yeah. When y'all first got here to Ronald McDonald House, what were your first impressions?
Well, I mean, everybody was super friendly. I mean, just like St. Jude, the hallways are empty because of the current pandemic. So, I kind of feel like how are you going to meet people? How do you know about people? But everything was just already in place. I mean, that's just what is so great about it, is you don't have to figure things out. I mean, there's just like a whole support group here, to help you with that. I mean,
Yeah.
from groceries and laundry to getting mail and, figuring out how to get back and forth to appointments and, just everything. I mean, everything's kind of already worked out. It's like you don't even have to spend a lot of time stressing over those decisions.
Yeah.
Just focus on her.
Yeah. Just you talked about the halls are kind of quiet right now because of the precautions we have to take for COVID-19. But have y'all managed to make any friends and relationships with other families?
Yeah, definitely. You start to see familiar faces from your clinic and, put together, who's what. I mean, some people are obviously a little more, want that social aspect more, so the common areas like the kitchen and the dining area, give you that opportunity to kind of hang out in a safe environment.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the outdoor space here is beautiful. I mean, just to be right in the middle of the city, there's sidewalks and trees and, can get out and see the stars at night. I mean, it just really is a wonderful campus here at Ronald McDonald House where we can have time to see and talk to other people and learn their stories as well. So, I don't really know that there are any other kids here that are Olivia's age, but at the same time, I mean, that's okay too. I mean, it's more like having siblings than, having classmates. I mean, she can kind of learn what other kids are going through and develop that empathy too, seeing, it's not like she's different. I mean, they all have, this sort of similar experiences. So.
Yeah. Well, Olivia is a very active young girl. How old's Olivia?
She's 5 and a half.
5 and a half.
And
Always crazy.
Always crazy. Yes.
Well, I've seen y'all really active around the house, from on her unicorn scooter to making shark Play-Doh
Yes.
and playing in the craft room. You see how I got that right that time, Olivia? Olivia, will you come share with us some of the fun things that you do here at the house with your mom?
What do you like to do when it gets to be sunset?
move on to the playground.
Will you come over here and tell her?
Come
Will you come over here and
Come
tell
where
us?
we can hear you. What do you like to do when it gets to be, of course, it's August in Memphis, so
It's
it can be
hot.
hot, but when the sun finally goes down, what kind of things do we do?
We put on pajamas and go to the playground.
We go to the playground in our pajamas.
Oh, that's cool.
What's your favorite thing to play on the playground?
Ice cream truck.
Ice cream
To
truck.
pretend there's an ice cream truck.
And we pretend we serve animals.
Oh, yeah? Well, you've participated in a couple Zoom sessions that we've had here at the house with the dogs. Do you remember logging on the computer and seeing the dogs?
We do a lot of things on our computer here, don't we? What kind of things do we do on the computer?
We watch TV.
Yeah, but what do? We have with your teacher.
Telehealth.
Oh.
Yeah, we can use our computers to telehealth so we can see your teacher. What grade are you in? You're taking your kindergarten. Huh?
Was it fourth?
You can speak up.
Was
We're,
was it fourth?
you have a kindergarten teacher.
So it's one.
It's preschool.
Oh.
You're in kindergarten.
So fourth.
That's fine. So we can do school through the distance, and then we got to see the dogs. Do you remember getting to see the dogs?
Mm-hmm.
What did you ask them? You want to know what their favorite snacks were?
Snacks were.
And then who else did we see on the computer? Do you remember? He knew your name and everything.
Who was he?
And he did magic tricks for you.
Oh, you talking about the guy with the red hair?
What did I say?
Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
You don't remember when we saw Ronald McDonald? And he even talked to you. He knew your name.
I said to him, abracadabra. He said abracadabra.
He's such a clown, huh?
He just does crazy magic tricks.
Yeah, he sure did. That was fun.
Yeah, I watched that too. It was pretty funny, huh? It was pretty funny. He was a lot of fun.
It was funny for me.
Yeah. During this time, Mom, this all really sounds like it started really quickly,
Yeah.
and this journey has been a very quick thing, and really all during this pandemic.
Right.
What has this journey been like for y'all, navigating this through a pandemic?
It's challenging, especially because everybody says the same thing, that this is not the full St. Jude experience. So, but we don't really have anything else to compare it to.
Mm-hmm.
So in a lot of ways, we're fortunate that, we're not missing out on things, because, this is our normal. I mean, this is what we expect. But the hardest thing's probably been, having to limit contact with family.
Mm-hmm.
So that has been definitely a challenge, because Olivia was able to stay at home with her dad until she started pre-K. So she definitely misses him. That's definitely been hard. But feel like St. Jude has made every effort to ensure that we're safe. Even the dreaded things, like the testing and the screening. I mean, it just gives you that security that you're not fighting the world by yourself, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. So that's comforting, even though it has its frustrating moments too. But they made resources available for us, in anything we've asked for. Like when she first felt bad, they provide physical therapy and counselors and social workers and all of that, just to help make it easier. So but also kind of remember that the world's just different for everybody.
Yeah.
So we at least feel like we're in a bubble right now, where we're safe and I guess we don't have to
What else is in here?
think about, how to interact
Yeah.
with the world, because everything's pretty
Yeah.
safe here.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah, then open it.
There we go. Also, you shared y'all aren't really. Other people have shared with you that you're not getting the St. Jude experience.
Right.
You're also not really getting the Ronald McDonald House experience much
Yeah.
as well, because